Shavua Tov, Gute Woch. I'm going to read the next story in the Shivchei haBaal Shem Tov, and this story, I think I told it a few months ago, but now as I am telling the story in chronological or in the order in which they are in this book, is the story number 23. It is not chronological, it actually refers to an earlier time than the order in which we've been telling, prior to the Itgalut, to the revelation of the Baal Shem Tov as a hidden tzaddik and as a Baal Shem. At the time, the brother-in-law of the Baal Shem Tov, Rav Gershon of Kitov, thought of him as an ignoramus, thought of him as a somewhat beneath the level of rabbinical knowledge of his family, and didn't understand why his sister had married somebody in such a low level. The name of the story is Hanacha be'emtza hatfila, the sigh in the middle of the prayer. Says the author of the Shivchei haBaal Shem Tov, I heard from the mouth of the great pious teacher of our community, Rav Gedalia. He's talking about Rav Gedalia of Linitz, who heard the story from the Maggid of Mesrich, who heard it from the Mochiach Rav Leib of Polona, who heard it from Rav Yaakov Yosef of Polona, who is the main source from which all the stories of the Shivchei haBaal Shem Tov come, or most of the stories come. So Rav Gedalia says that once, prior to the revelation of the Baal Shem Tov, the Baal Shem Tov asked Rav Moshe of the Keilah of Kitov. Rav Moshe of Kitov was one of the hidden tzaddikim, and he was one of the few who already knew who the Baal Shem Tov was. So Rav Moshe of the Keilah of Kitov, Baal Shem Tov asked him for a volume of the Zohar, the book of Kabbalah and the secrets of Torah. And on the way to his house, he met his brother-in-law, Rav Gershon. And Rav Gershon saw him carrying a book under his arm and asked him, what do you have in there? What do you have under your shoulder? What are you carrying? The Baal Shem Tov did not want to tell him. Rav Gershon got off of his carriage. I guess he was traveling in the carriage when he saw him, and pulled the book from the Baal Shem Tov and looked at it. And he said, you need a Sefer Zohar? You need a Zohar to carry with you? Why? Why would you need to carry such a thing? Then the Baal Shem Tov went to pray in the shul in Kitov, in the Beis Medrash, in the house of study of Kitov, close to the door. At the time of starting the Shmone Esrei, he gave a great sigh. After the prayer, Rav Moshe came to him and asked him what happened during prayer. Why did you give such a big sigh? The Baal Shem Tov said that he asked the Baal Shem Tov, tell me please the truth. I know that this sigh came straight from your heart. Something really bothered you. So the Baal Shem Tov pointed at the door and he said the mezuzah that was next to the door, close to where I was praying, is pasul, is not kosher, and it was disturbing me in my prayer. So Rav Moshe, seeing beyond the words of the Baal Shem Tov, he pulled out the mezuzah, which indeed was psula, so he checked it. They gave the Baal Shem Tov a Zohar and told him, I hope that this time, on your way home, you won't find your brother-in-law. not only did he verify that the Baal Shem Tov was saying is true, he saw beyond that what bothered the Baal Shem Tov was both that I would offer as an explanation that the mezuzah was possible, and that the that he was bothered because his brother-in-law had met him and questioned him why he's carrying a volume of the Zohar. Shavua Tov, a gute Woche.